love it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Patreon for I'm a Fan of That. We're sorry we're a little late.
Life happens, man. You know.
We have had some stuff happening, but we're good. We're here. And this is going to end up being the last episode of the bonus between seasons kind of episodes. So thank you guys so much for supporting the show.
We love having you here. Thank you again for being patient with us. We super appreciate it. And now you get to listen to this before we go off and record whatever nonsense we're recording for the next series.
I'm already excited about it.
That was gonna be great.
But today, Vivian is here, your resident pop culture connoisseur for reality television, is here to explain to you, if you have seen the New York Times profile on this, if you have seen all of the way that this has taken over important news outlets, and
I'm gonna be honest.
Know what the hell is happening?
I feel like there are so many things in this world that are being talked about right now that are horrific and sad and troubling and all of that. Sometimes it's nice not to.
So we're not going to talk about any of those things. We're talking about the Summer House scandal. Now, Olly, do you know anything about this at all?
Nothing.
Perfect.
I'm so excited.
Okay. I am going to treat our listeners as well like they know nothing, because if I have learned anything from our audience is that they hate the reality television episodes that I put out. So I'm assuming that you guys also know nothing. So I am going to teach you everything that is going on with this, not only just the details of the thing itself, but also some of the conversation going around it, maybe why some people are reacting in certain ways and other people are reacting in other ways, some of the very other complications that are going on with this, because yes, I do deep it, and then and we're just gonna have fun talking about this whole thing. So the way that I am going to explain this to you is I'm just gonna walk you through all of the information, and I'm not gonna tell you what the scandal is until it happens.
Okay. I mean,
you're not going to start with any info.
The other thing I was thinking we could do this episode, which we're not doing because Vivian suggested this first, and so I was like, we'll leave it, was I wanted to do a deep dive on the Chapel Roan situation.
Oh, that's still unfolding, isn't it?
It is. It's still unfolding. We may still go to it.
We'll do a normal episode about it, I think.
Because I'm fascinated by that, and there's a lot to talk about that's not just about Chapel Roan, but
yes,
maybe we have saved our Patreon listeners Olly's rant about how women are treated by the media.
Well, we'll do that. Olly will have their rant on the normal feed, I'm sure.
For everyone. That's how we do this show, right? One of us is going to go off about how the world is crap.
So, let's start with Summer House.
What is Summer House?
Summer House is a reality TV show, which is published by Bravo. Bravo is a U.S. channel. In case you don't know, it's owned by NBC. It's kind of all reality TV shows. They've got The Real Housewives. They've got Below Deck is the other really big franchise that they have.
Often stuff that's shown on Channel 4 in the UK.
Yeah, sure. They also did Vanderpump Rules. And then they launched this one called Summer House in 2017, I believe.
Oh, so it's been around quite a while.
Yes, they are in season 10 at the moment. Is airing as we speak. Season 10 is airing. So they have 10 years of footage because they were obviously filming in 2026.
Okay.
For the air date in 2017 when it initially launched. And they launched it actually alongside Vanderpump Rules.
Sorry.
2016, yeah.
Yes.
They actually aired it alongside Vanderpump Rules. So Bravo does this a lot where in order to kind of launch a new show, they'll kind of tie it in with an existing show or franchise.
That makes sense.
So there was an episode of Vanderpump Rules where they were in New York and they ended up hanging out with this new weird group of people, and then that ended up becoming the first episode of the new show. So it was like a way of kind of leading you in. They do this a lot. So the idea of Summer House is that it was initially a group of about mid-20s to mid-30s people. It is now about mid-20s to mid-40s people that live in New York City. And they have normal jobs, normal lives and stuff. And then in summer, they get a lot of money together and they basically rent out a really big fancy house in the Hamptons.
Okay.
And then they go up there every weekend of the summer, and they all live in the same house for that weekend, and they have parties, and they get drunk and enjoy summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so this show catalogs the summer when they come up to the share house.
Interesting. So is it now as well that the TV production people are paying for the house, or are they still doing it
probably
the same way?
yeah. I mean, I'm sure that was the case as well, probably from season 1, but the idea from season 1 was that they were people who were already doing this.
Okay, that makes sense.
They said in 2017 that it was quite common for professionals in New York to do this, like the kind of like mid-range wealthy, where you're not wealthy enough to actually have your own house in the Hamptons.
Yes. But you can live in New York and also rent somewhere else for the summer.
Yes. Yeah. But, you can
Which
afford a place in New York and to rent somewhere else. So, they are some level of affluent, but not, like, massive.
Yeah. So I can see the setup. It kind of feels a bit like you're kind of Made in Chelsea kind of crowd.
Yeah.
A little bit less money, because obviously Made in Chelsea is very well off.
Very rich, yes.
But it's kind of slightly more aspirational, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of like achievable aspirational.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of
yeah.
people, because I think they were kind of aiming it to the audience that were mid-20s, mid-30s, because that's kind of the Vanderpump Rules audience as well, while like Real Housewives tend to be an older audience. So they're kind of like trying to grab the younger audience by being like, these are also people in their 20s that are partying and hooking up with each other and doing crazy shit. So there were quite a few characters that are still around from the beginning, but the primary one we're going to talk about, I'm going to try to focus us on only the characters that are going to really matter for the scandal, because otherwise it doesn't, I'm not going to get into Carl's whole mess. We're going to talk about Kyle Cook. So Kyle Cook was one of the OG characters. He's still on the show, so he's been there for 10 years. And when he started, he was one of the older members. So he was in his like early to mid 30s at the time, while a lot of the other people were like mid 20s. And he was this, I say was, probably still is, this kind of Peter Pan kind of caricature, right? Like we all know these men.
Yes,
we all know these men. They don't want to grow up. They love to party. They love to get drunk. They love to go out, particularly with young ladies. They love to have sex with younger women. And they never want that to end, no matter how much older they get.
I'm seeing where the scandal might be. Okay, yeah.
So Kyle Cook comes on, and he's got this on-again, off-again girlfriend who he basically dumps whenever he wants to screw somebody else.
Wow.
Yes.
What a classy guy.
Her name is Amanda Batula. So now in the first season, that is her real name.
Wow.
I was going to try to grab actual clips, but fortunately for both our listeners and for Olly, I did not have time. So I was going to grab
Amanda Batula feels like a Disney Channel character.
It is a very good name.
It's great.
Like you can imagine like an Agatha Christie character or something.
Absolutely.
Amanda is in her mid-20s at around this time, maybe earlier 20s. I can't quite remember the exact age range, but young. But obviously not too young. But she was a graphic designer living in New York and hooking up with this guy. And he made a comment in this first season with Amanda about how he likes dating the kind of younger girls, because women, I should say. He probably phrased it as girls. He likes sleeping with these and seeing these younger women because they don't expect a ring. They're not as like the same as like people in their 30s will expect that kind of a thing. And he can kind of hit it and quit it and no one gets hurt, right?
I think I hate this man.
Yes. It's gonna get worse.
Oh my God. Okay.
I want to lay the scene of the kinds of characters we're talking about for all of these things.
Yeah.
So Amanda is not, so normally he's used to probably hitting it and quitting it and thinking that there's no hurt feelings because they just go off and do their own thing afterwards. Amanda does not. Amanda keeps coming back. Season 2, they start, Amanda's now in a relationship with Kyle Cook. Okay, so they are now in a committed, like, this is my girlfriend relationship. So, I think it was, I can't remember which season. I think it might have been season 5. Right before season 5 aired, because, you get Instagram, you follow these people. We find out that Amanda and Kyle are engaged. It looks cute, whatever, sure. I mean, they argue all the time. This is not, they are not in like a happy, loving relationship, by the way. They argue constantly. They're like in the show, constantly arguing at each other.
We're in this situation and now we have to do it for the brand deal.
Yeah. I think there's a certain amount of he probably doesn't want to look like an ass. And you've got this girl that like won't go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to phrase it like that because that sounds really bad. But he's probably so used to being like, well, normally they leave now. And she didn't. And he's like, well, that must mean that this is meant to be. Like, I can see the mentality of the toxic relationship and how you kind of justify it to yourself. There's a really famous line that Kyle does in one of the arguments before the engagement where they are shouting at each other and getting mad and all this kind of stuff because he's getting out drinking a lot and is always partying. And she's kind of more of the one who likes to kind of be in the house of the share house. She ends up starting with a group of girls who we'll talk about in a second. The bed bugs, they like to just like lay in bed all together in a big cuddle pile in a bed together and gossip and stuff.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. But she kind of wants Kyle to be in on that, and he's the Peter Pan. He's the partier. He's the drinker. This is what he likes to do. So he's not going to do that.
They feel badly matched.
They are very badly matched. And so they have a big shouting match, and he has a very famous line where he talks about summers are supposed to be fun. Amanda is not fun. So this is, yes.
Ooh.
So
why did you get engaged?
They get engaged, and of course everyone's like, sure. And then the season starts, and we find out that Kyle has cheated on Amanda prior to this season. Yeah. Like, somewhere in the off-season, he cheated. And so this whole season is them getting over, and it ends with the engagement. Of course, a lovely way to start an engagement.
Yeah, no, don't get engaged. Don't do that. People who are like, they cheated in the past, but we got over... No.
So then, season 6, Kyle and Amanda get married.
Oh, no. It feels so bad.
So we are now in season 10. We're going to, basically, right before season 10 aired, I think it started airing in February of this year. January, they announced that they are separated. To everyone's applause.
Shock, yeah. Shock horror. Nobody knew that was
There's a lot more about how terrible their relationship is. He basically started, so Kyle was like an entrepreneurial kind of guy of like, let me invest money here and there and sell it and then, that kind of thing. And then he started a canned alcohol business. And then he basically wanted everyone involved in the business. So he made Amanda quit her job and start working as like a design person for his company.
Oh, no.
And then later after they're married, she wants to quit and kind of do her own thing. And he gets really pissy about it. And it also makes a whole fucking argument about how he doesn't care that she has this dream of making swimsuits. He thinks that's stupid. He says, I have a dream of being a DJ. And then her friend goes, well, then just be a DJ. So now he's a DJ. It's like a... So anyway, we're going to put Kyle and Amanda on the back burner now because the season starts and we know that they're getting separated. So we're like, at least there's more arguments. Although this season, Amanda seems checked out from the arguments. It's a lot of like, sure, man, whatever.
They were already done. She was already gone.
She's done. So we're like, thank God they're done. So we're going to put them on the back burner. Now we're going to introduce another character to this equation, which is Sierra.
Okay.
Now, Sierra is a beautiful, beautiful woman who is also an ICU nurse. So incredibly intelligent, incredibly beautiful. In fact, I have pictures of people.
That's a sensible, normal job.
Yes. Sensible, normal job.
Yeah.
There we go. This is Sierra.
Wow.
Yes.
Damn,
Not her
girl.
worth. Not her worth.
No. She's an ICU nurse. She's an ICU nurse. She's clever. She's smart, and she's really hot.
So funny. She's so funny.
Oh,
so they
God.
do
whole package.
I know. They do a lot of
Not that looks are important. Looks. That's societal expectations, but good for her.
But damn. And then I have Kyle. This is Kyle and Amanda.
Amanda could do so much better.
Yeah. So anyway,
he just looks like a pencil. Like, put it back. He looks like a pencil.
He does a bit.
We'll have to share the pictures for people.
I will put the pictures for people.
He kind of looks like a razor head. I'm not gonna lie.
They do a lot of like weird like themed parties and stuff, and all the girls always try to dress like it's a sexy fairy, and like they did like
the listeners can't see the level of eye roll.
Yes. Sierra always goes crazy weird. Like the girls were dressed as like sexy fairies, and she did like prosthetic makeup to goblin herself.
Good for her. That's amazing.
So
she sounds great.
That's what I mean. She's so funny, and it's just, it cracks me up. And
I'm not gonna lie, this feels like somebody who was not necessarily the most attractive child, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's somebody who has kind of gone, I'm just going to become a human because I'm a human, rather than this being the most important part of my personality. That sounds really mean, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
but anyway, so this is Sierra Miller. Sierra Miller is also the first Black woman to join the party,
okay.
and I believe she is also the first Black person in general to join
okay.
the cast. So
that's surprising. For
yes,
many reasons, but
sure. It's Bravo.
I'm just thinking, if you've got New York young professionals, and
New York is not exactly not diverse.
Wow. Okay.
So she joins in season 5.
In season 5, they didn't have any people of color until season 5, and I'm not gonna lie, she's not exactly. She's quite light skinned. You know.
I think that might have been the lighting on that one.
Okay.
I mean, she's not dark.
No, but still, like, you kind of go, again, New York is an incredibly diverse place, and they introduced one POC woman in series 5.
In series 5. So...
Oh my god.
So she joins in season 5, and as most women who join the cast of Summer House, she's initially linked to a man. So there was a guy who was kind of seeing her and invites her on the show, basically, and then he was also kind of half hooking up with this other person, and as soon as Sierra kind of clocked it, she's like, I'm out. And drops the man immediately in favor of the women. Yeah. She immediately ingratiates herself with the women. Like, she's one of the bed bugs with Amanda. So it's Sierra, Amanda, Paige DeSorbo, and Hannah Berner for a while. But then Hannah ends up leaving. So there's like a group of women that Sierra like becomes really good friends with, and is kind of known for being a real good girl's girl.
I love her. We love Sierra.
We all love her. She's a fan favorite. Everyone loves Sierra. She is, I mean, as I said, she's beautiful in every single which way possible.
What a queen.
So
I don't even know
Sierra...
this woman. I'm on her team. 100% on Team Sierra now.
that will not waver. So Sierra also has a very unfortunate string of dalliances on the TV show. Yeah. So the first kind of main one is that there was like an offshoot of Summer House that they did. I think it was only 1 season's worth. That was Winter House, where they shared like a ski lodge kind of place.
Okay. Very creative.
Yeah, and they brought in a bunch of people from a load of different Bravo shows. So it wasn't just Summer House people. Mm-hmm. It was Summer House, some Below Deck, I think, who they really didn't fit. And
I'm not surprised, to be honest. Like, Below Deck is a very specific kind of show, which, if you haven't watched it, like, my god.
I mean, Below Deck is so fun for another reason. And they did, they also brought in Southern Charm people, which is like a show that takes place in Charleston with, again, just a whole host of Peter Pan men. And one of these Peter Pan men, Austin Kroll, really hits on Sierra a lot. If you are a writer, watching reality TV is amazing for names. It's just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So Austin Kroll ends up having a bit of a fling with Sierra. And it's an important note for later on, Austin is white, as is pretty much everybody other than Sierra, who we are going to be discussing during this whole conversation.
Honestly, I still can't quite get over that they set a reality TV show in New York. I mean,
season 10, there's a nice group cast, so it's Sierra is still on it. There is also Mia, who's another black woman, and they have KJ, who's a black man, so they have a nice...
Things have improved.
They have improved, and they've had really good discussions about race. It's
okay.
It's getting
also
there.
Slightly surprised that a program set in southern... Okay, am I surprised that they don't have any black people on that one? I feel like they ought to.
Southern Charm has one black person, and it's a black woman. It's always feeding black women to the wolves, man. So Sierra is having this dalliance with Austin Kroll. Austin Kroll treats her very poorly as soon as the cameras are off, essentially, and talks a lot of shit about her. It's really humiliating because it's also on national television. It's just... Sierra's wrecked, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely wrecked.
Because she's a normal person.
Because she's a normal person with, like, feelings. And one of the things that Sierra always really emphasizes is the fact that because she is hot, a lot of people kind of only see her as a sexual object.
Yeah.
Especially men.
Yeah.
And she expresses from day one on the show, I want a relationship. I want someone to date me. I want someone to see me. I want to be in a, like, loving, committed relationship with, like... emotional attachment to more than my appearance, right?
I mean, I think that's normal.
Yes, it is fair. It is not very much to ask.
No, that's like, the bar is in hell.
Yes.
You know? This poor woman.
So enter in season 8, West Wilson.
He's
another great name.
Like, is he Deadpool? No, I know what Deadpool's name is. It's Wade Wilson, but yeah.
It does sound like an alias of some sort, doesn't it?
Yeah, Wes Wilson.
So Wes Wilson is a sports journalist.
Okay. I already don't like him.
He joins in season 8. It's him and this other guy that they bring on. And to kind of try to bring in some new, fresh, younger energy in men as well, not just women, young energy. And he kind of sets himself up as, like, kind of shy. He's, especially because the other guy that he kind of comes in with is a lot more of the aggressive player type that you would imagine. So West, by comparison, seems a lot more normal and kind of solid. And he immediately lays eyes on Sierra.
Okay.
And as much as they're, like, flirting and stuff like that, there's also a lot of, like, deep conversation. They're actually going out on dates, like, on the show. He's really courting her.
I'm a little bit scared. Because you've told me this is unfortunate, and now I'm like, oh no, what does he do?
So he ends up having a bit of a relationship with Sierra. And now, because Sierra is the fan favorite and he seems to be treating her well and all this kind of stuff, he becomes a really big fan favorite too, because we're like, our girl is getting somebody who seems nice and that they like her, right? Mm-hmm. So we're all happy for Sierra. So yay, good on West. West actually gets a huge profile while the show is going on in the New York Times.
Wow.
Celebrating good men returning to television, right? Like, he's the nice guy to take, like, the hot chick, all that kind of stuff, right? Ah! So
I feel like we're going to have to release parts of this in video form just for my facial expression.
So the reunion hits. They are not together anymore. Because West really liked the attention that he was getting as being new on a reality TV show.
Oh, God. Okay.
And he wants to go out and drink and have sex with young ladies. And he has this whole kind of sad boy thing. I actually have a picture of him. And the picture that I took of him was from the reunion where everyone is laying into him because of how he treated Sierra. So I want to show you him as well because we enjoy really roasting mediocre men.
Yes, we do.
This is West.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was a dickhead.
Oh, I'm just a little boy. I don't know how to act.
I'm just a little guy. I just wanted to put my pee-pee in ladies. Why is it so bad? That's that face. That's what that face is.
Yep.
He looks like a kicked puppy. But he kicked himself.
Yes.
Oh, it's like that guy on like one of the Love is Blind. No, it's not that one. Yes, one of those shows where it's like Marriage at First Sight, where he was like, "You're not like a Pilates girl," and I'm like, "Dude, she is a doctor."
That was Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Oh.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. So,
like, dude, you had a clever, hot, amazing, funny girl, and you went, "Oh, no, but I really like the attention."
So, Sierra had met his parents.
Oh no!
Like,
okay, I hate him so much.
Right? So it's not just like, oh, they had a fling on TV and then he dropped her, which is already humiliating enough. Like, it is in her mind, and she has no reason to question it. It is a relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
You've met his parents.
And then he basically wants to go have fun being popular now. So he drops her. He gets the shit kicked out of him.
My hair's gone so fluffy from the amount of times I've just like put my hands through it and just.
So he gets the shit kicked out of him at the reunion.
Emotionally, not physically.
Not physically. Emotionally. They all lay into him because they're like, Sierra's amazing. How dare you fumble Sierra? Like, she kind of has her own like, hey, like this was actually a thing. And then between the reunion and the filming of the next season, he does another piece with the New York Times, which is essentially reiterating again that he's not interested in Sierra, which is just a lovely little cherry on top for
I hate him.
Poor woman.
I hate him. Is he just like, I wish to be the villain here?
I mean, yeah, I think it was one of those things where it's like you get the attention because you're the nice guy, but then you have to like continue to do that. And when you're not actually nice, it's really hard to keep going.
Yeah. Like, he played a part, and then, yeah.
We're not at the scandal yet, just so you know.
This is not what? How come it's get worse?
We're not even at the scandal yet. I should have prefaced. So season 9 happens, and basically West has to grovel the entire fucking season for Sierra. Yeah. Sierra is totally not giving him the time of day. And there's a really great moment in this current season where he's like talking to Sierra, and he's like, I don't really know how to talk to you. And she's like, do you know what I mean? That I can't talk to you? And she goes, I perfectly designed it that way. That's what I wanted.
Yep, you can't talk to me.
So they kind of feud mostly during season 9, but they're kind of starting to heal at the end of season 9. You know, he's groveled a lot. He's apologized a lot. She also has a lot of very frank conversations about, you know, her experience of the whole thing, and especially reading op-ed pieces about him not liking her again and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, about herself.
Yeah. Oh. So, January 19th, 2026.
Okay.
Amanda and Kyle, as I said, announced their separation.
Yep.
February 3rd, season 10 starts to air.
Okay.
On TV.
I feel like I'm living this. It's very exciting.
One of the storylines going on is obviously Kyle and Amanda's slow deterioration.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're getting into fighting arguments. Amanda has essentially given up. There is a night where he gets quite drunk, and he is upset that everyone's outside having fun while he's trying to do his DJ set for everybody. So he comes outside and just unprovoked, without any conversation to anybody else, looks at Amanda and says, "Fuck you." Everyone goes, "Whoa, dude!" It ends up becoming a whole argument, and West now is normally a very passive guy. Like, he's not very, as you saw, oh, I'm just a little boy, I don't know how to be confrontational. So he's normally, like, not very confrontational. He ends up kind of being like, look, I'm non-confrontational to a point, but, like, this is ridiculous. And he starts kind of talking to Kyle, like, look, you cannot speak to your wife like this. You have to, like, go in and apologize to her. Oh, but, and he's like, no, there is no but. You do not say that to your wife. You need to go and apologize.
Yeah.
During this whole season as well, West is also trying to rekindle things with Sierra. He's going,
Why?
I fumbled it.
Why on earth should he give her the time of day?
I fumbled it. I recognize what I had now. Yes. You know, this kind of whole thing.
This is so crazy. She shouldn't be giving him anything.
So this is all going on. So everyone's kind of going, man, West is actually, like, standing up to people, especially Kyle. How great. Fantastic, right? Like, he's starting to win the audience over a little bit. Just a little bit, right? Winning him over a little bit. There's another, like, the thing that didn't get as much attention, which is, like, I would be more pissed about if my husband did to me, is in their argument about the fuck you thing, Kyle calls Amanda a stupid fucking bitch.
Incinerate her. Into the incinerator with him. Whole man. Throw him out.
You can tell that she's over it because she just goes, yeah, sure, Kyle, I'm a stupid fucking bitch. Which is, like, not the reaction I would have, right?
And also, like, that tells you she's checked out. She's completely
She's checked out. She's like, totally...
He's called her that before.
Exactly. I mean, if he's calling her that in front of people on television...
Yeah.
Okay, so, March 5th.
I hate him.
March 5th. Now, to reiterate, during this whole thing, so while these years of Kyle and Amanda sparring and stuff, Sierra, as I said, girl's girl. Just got a girl's back.
Yeah.
She's always fighting in her corner. She's always telling... There's, like, during this season of season 10, where everything's deteriorating, Amanda is crying a lot. There's a really depressing scene where they're in bed together doing their little bedbug cuddle thing, Sierra and Amanda. And Sierra's like, you need to leave this man, like, you don't deserve this. And Amanda goes, you know, but I just don't know if I can do any better. And Sierra starts crying because she's like, of course you can. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You deserve better. You can do better. You know, really trying to hype up her girl.
Mm-hmm.
March 5th. Tabloid Du Mois posts a gossip article that West and Amanda are seen getting a little flirty.
I feel like I knew that was coming.
Now, Du Mois is famously wrong a lot of the time, right? So the audience clocks it, but is like, there's no way. There's no way. Amanda would not do that to Sierra. Amanda would not do that, period. This is not, I mean, West would, but but this is not a thing. Absolutely not a thing. There starts to become more and more posts about it. Oh, well, they were caught here. Somebody saw them there. Somebody else swears that they saw them. Like, oh, they live, like, you know, they're in New York, so there's, like, big apartment things, that they're in an apartment nearby and could see through the windows, that they were at each other's house, like, flat. And so clearly
Not
that's
a
a thing.
Girl.
So, March 17th, an episode airs from season 10 where Sierra has a very frank conversation with the house about the racial dynamics of the fact that she is a black woman dating white men openly on television.
Yeah.
And how
that was a interesting.
I highly suggest, if anyone is going to watch anything from this, even with all the scandal shit, that whole scene was so good because she was very open about the fact that it's like, she's obviously getting racist comments, but she's also getting comments from the black community going, how can you let a white man treat you like that? You know, like, there's that dynamic to it. And the other two black cast members kind of join in and talk about being black on TV and these kind of dynamics. KJ, who's the black man, has to talk about, you know, I have to think, 20 steps ahead, because if I react in a normal way, it could be seen as aggressive and angry, and I don't want to feed that, so I have to, like, try to be calm even when I'm not. And, they just have these conversations, which I thought was really, really, really good.
Yeah. I would definitely be looking that up. That's
yes. I highly suggest
a conversation
to watch
that needed to be had and needs to be had more.
Yes. March 25th. West is on a show called Watch What Happens Live, which is it's like a thing that's hosted by Andy Cohen, which is all on Bravo. It's all Bravo people. They talk about the Bravo shows. It's kind of like a talk show thing. So he's on it, and they ask him directly about these rumors about him and Amanda. And he seems to deny it. Just straight up. It's a little bit, when you rewatch it, it's a little bit cagey, but he's also a weird guy that is never really firmly direct anyway, so,
It's not out of the wheelhouse for him to be.
Yeah, but he just goes, oh, we're friends. We're just friends. We're friends. And he's like, oh, but I really, I really care about her. I really love her. She means a lot to me. And then the person who was, like, with him as a guest was like, oh, but that's, like, your homegirl. And he goes, yeah, that's my homegirl. So, essentially trying to shut down the rumors.
Okay.
Right? March 26th. Page 6 reports that Amanda and Sierra have had a falling out over ? We don't know. They were supposed to do an Amazon Live together, and they ended up doing it separately.
Okay. Okay.
March 31st. This is the Instagram story heard round the world. But Amanda and West issue joint statements on Instagram confirming the fact that they are in a relationship.
Okay. 6 days. It took 6 days.
I was going to read you this joint statement because...
Please do. I want you to do a dramatic reading. I'm so excited.
Because this is probably the worst joint statement I have ever read. Okay. We've seen the growing online speculation, so while this is still very new, we wanted to provide some clarity. It was never our intention to purposefully hide anything. Given the complicated relationship dynamics involved and the scrutiny that comes with being on a reality show, we needed a little space to process things privately before speaking on it. We've shown up for each other as friends over the years, through all the highs and lows, and what's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected. Our connection grew out of a genuine, long-standing friendship, which made it especially important for us to approach this with care. As our feelings evolved, we wanted to take time to understand exactly what we were feeling. We also recognize that this has had an impact beyond just us, and never wanted our actions to cause any hurt or be perceived as careless. We truly appreciate the understanding and respect as we navigate this.
Well.
Bets on ChatGPT?
Yeah, I would say so.
Also, I love this. Okay. We've seen the growing online speculation about. So while this is still very new, we wanted to provide some clarity. Do they? It was never our intention to purposefully hide anything.
Except.
I also love the things like, what's developed recently? What's developed? You never say.
That's clearly ChatGPT. It's crazy. The amount of words used to say nothing.
Yep. So, on the same day that this story drops,
yeah,
it is reported that West and Sierra had been trying to date again. April 1st. West was in an exclusive relationship with a girl dubbed as Montana Girl. She had been mentioned a couple of times on the show, kind of in passing, as somebody that he was kind of speaking to. He was apparently in an exclusive dating relationship with this woman. while dating Sierra, while secretly dating Amanda. So, that is the summer house scandal, is the fact that Amanda Batula and West Wilson are having a secret relationship while Amanda is getting separated from her husband, and he had been dating Amanda's best friend.
And some secret third person.
Who now Sierra and her are apparently friends on Instagram. So, girls girl to the end, man.
Yeah. This man.
So, that was really long, but I needed to, like, really, like, paint the picture.
No, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed
Because I think that when you kind of just do it as, like, well, because they obviously weren't dating, like, Sierra and West weren't dating for very long in either situation. So if you just kind of write it down, it doesn't look as deep.
No, but also it's one of those things where it doesn't really matter because the emotional impact and where things are at. And also because it looks like they've sort of been toing and froing with maybe we are, maybe we're not.
Yeah.
Particularly from his point of view, he's trying to date her again, even though... Why? Is it because of the optics?
I think it's because of the optics. That's my personal theory.
He wants...
She's a fan favorite.
Yeah, and he
was on top of the world when he was dating her.
Ugh.
Yes. So
great.
So, there's been some people are they've been comparing it to Scandival, which was another scandal that went on in the Bravo universe where Tom Sandoval, this was on Vanderpump Rules, was cheating on his 10-year-long relationship partner with another cast member. So it's been compared a lot to that, and a lot of people are upset by that comparison because they weren't dating very long. They weren't in a committed relationship. It's not quite the same. And what I've also been noticing is that a lot more, because of the nature of the dating and the fact that, like, it was kind of, he's an asshole. We kind of already all know he's an asshole.
Yeah.
That the real kind of villain that has come out of this has been Amanda.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like a going against your girl thing.
Okay, yes, I understand.
So, yeah, it's kind of like I would never date anybody that my friend even had a remote passing interest in unless I had a really long conversation with them and said, hey, I know that you were kind of into this guy. I might be kind of into this guy. How are you feeling? You know, like, I'm not going to do anything if that would upset. Like, I would have a conversation before even approaching the man.
Yeah. No, I've had conversations like that with people. It is what it is. People, you can't change things, but it's common courtesy to have a damn conversation.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, Amanda is clearly in a terrible marriage that she should not have been in, and for whatever reason it's happened, and he's awful and abusive. She does deserve to have another
which we're going to get back to in a second, because
however,
unfortunately,
you don't do that like this. Like, why wouldn't she have a conversation about... Like, this person clearly has been there going, you deserve better, let me help you, I'm your bestie, you crying together, all that kind of stuff, and then you're like, oh yeah, but I'm going to date your guy who's kind of not your guy, and he's
secretly,
he's an arse, and he's treated you badly. And
secretly, it's the kind of Amanda of it all has been kind of the bigger piece because of the friendship betrayal, more than the kind of cheating.
Yeah. I mean, I will insert here that women are always made out to be the bigger villain than the man in any of these situations.
Yes.
I don't think anybody, apart from Sierra, has behaved particularly well at all, but I don't think that it's reasonable to make Amanda out to be the biggest villain when her husband yelled at her that she was a stupid fucking bitch.
So here's the other thing that has been going on, which has been annoying me to no end, which is because this has been going on in secret for a while. Mm-hmm. We have little bits and pieces as to how long this could have been going on.
Right.
So we do have a story of somebody who had basically heard, it was a reliable source, but it's football people and I don't know them. It was like a sports guy found out that because West is a sports journalist, so he's kind of half in that world.
Okay,
he was
yeah.
at the Super Bowl, and there was somebody there that had heard that he was dating Amanda. He was kind of seeing Amanda at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was in February. Now, West was at the Super Bowl with Sierra. So we know that it at least probably, if that is to be believed, was back in February.
Yeah.
People have been rewatching and scouring this latest season for evidence as to whether or not these two were already hooking up.
And I'm guessing the bit where he defends her to her
Has
husband
been used tremendously.
I can imagine, yeah.
There is
This
also
person's not very confrontational.
Suddenly is, because
Yeah.
he's defending his girl, maybe? One of his girls. So there's also like a weird scene where they're playing like a spin the bottle game, and during it...
These are adults, right?
Yes.
Just checking.
Yeah, no. So they're playing spin the bottle, and
That's what adults
during it, West kind of starts like getting closer and cozier with Sierra and is like trying to like touch her and stuff like that, like during the game, and she's like, this is a bit weird. People have rewatched the scene a couple of times because it was a bit odd, and you see that there's a bit where basically Amanda spins the bottle and gets Kyle, and they have a hot make out because they're married. And during that, West starts to move closer to Sierra during / right after that moment. So people are starting to wonder if it was in retaliation for her kissing her own husband.
Such a mess. This is so messy.
But there's a lot of dynamics going on, and one of which is the fact that part of this storyline that is being crafted during this season is trying to get West back with Sierra, and this is something that Amanda is also kind of feeding in. So there is this kind of question of if it was still going on, if this was kind of a plan to essentially keep attention off of what could be seen as them, because now it's going to be about West and Sierra, and then her marriage is falling apart, so there's other attention elsewhere kind of to focus on. But then that kind of brings in this weird gaslighting of a black woman.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of weird racial...
A lot of weird stuff going on here.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on, but I really wanted to highlight the racial dynamics of a black woman being involved in this. Obviously, I am not a black woman. I am going to highlight some of the elements that I think are important. Sierra did a really great job herself before this even was known to her as to the dynamics of this on the episode, which is why I wanted to highlight that scene, because she really highlighted the racial dynamics herself. So, her words are way more important than mine. But there's also been some really great content creators who have talked about the racial dynamics of being specifically a black woman, because misogyny hits different to black women, racism hits different to black women. So just to highlight them, because I want to be able, I'll link them in the description as well. There is a podcast with Rachel Lindsay, which is all about being a black woman and black in general on reality television. They have done a whole episode on the Summer House scandal and Sierra and the dynamics of being a black woman. So that is a really good listen if you are interested. There is also, if you are wanting to read something rather than listen to it, there is a Substack post from Out of Context, which is called Summer House on Sierra Miller, Misogynoir in White Female Friendships, White Boys' Colonial Conquests, and Reality Television's Handling of Black Women. It is very good. It really breaks down a lot of the dynamics, particularly in relation to the friendship dynamics of black women and white women. And in this, they really highlighted the fact that black women are generally untrustworthy of white women and white female friendships, because white women tend to have the friendship with a black woman in a very one-sided fashion. We will take from them and we will give back far less, and then we will leave them for the better conquest as soon as we can. In this case, it was for a man.
Yeah.
And Black women are always collateral in this. And so a lot of Black women go into relationships with white women going, well, when is this going to happen? So I just wanted to kind of highlight
absolutely
those dynamics. And the fact that is that Sierra has for a very long time been dealing with the racism on being on the show, not only from fans and fan reactions, but also from fellow cast members. Most of them on Summer House are actually pretty good. As I said, there hasn't been, at least as far as I am aware, and as Sierra has made clear, most of them are they actually listen when she has commentary on race. Carl, who is another member of the cast, he has a podcast. He invited Sierra on, and they had a whole conversation about race, and he kind of just allowed her to really have her moment and voice and really be heard on it. So they have been typically fairly okay. One of the moments from a past season has been being highlighted a lot, which is that in season 6, if we remember, Austin Kroll from who used to date her called her a Jezebel in a way that is supposed to be good and like, oh, aren't you a Jezebel? Which, if you don't know, is full of a lot of really negative stereotypes towards women, and particularly Black women, in the sense that they are this kind of sexual deviance, temptress need that the white man will fall for. And obviously the fact that Sierra is only ever really seen as a sexual object is also tied to a lot of the hypersexuality that is often put onto Black women. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that those kind of deeper social things were highlighted. Absolutely. But obviously there are other people who can also highlight that in much greater fashion. But I think it's important for us to also highlight that as well, especially because I have personally been seeing a lot of people in the comments saying, I don't understand how this is a race issue. And unfortunately, the fact is that if there are people of different races involved, it is going to involve a race issue. It's just the way that it is. It shouldn't be that way, but unfortunately that's just the way that it is.
I mean, the conversation about white women and their connection to power and their relation to power is very interesting in the idea of the sort of privilege pyramid, the privilege diagram, however you want to talk about it. And white women are very interesting in that space because they essentially will, in most cases, and it's a generalizations are awkward, but within the researches, white women will always gravitate, as you said, towards the thing that will give them more power. And that dynamic is very, very different. The closer you are to it, the more you will try to gain it through different ways. But at the same time, you also are not the person with the most privilege at the top, and so you feel as though you can understand and be connected to the people who have even less privilege than you do. And it's very difficult, messy spaces. I mean, there's so much nuance involved in all these conversations. This is a big generalization. And the people who are further away from that position of privilege, and the top of the privilege pyramid is always cisgender, straight, white men. The further you are away from that, the more the people above you will take in order to gain more.
Try to, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I will just kick my laptop in frustration at the world. But yes, I'm excited for you to link those because while I care very little for this reality TV show, I'm interested in the conversations.
Yes, I think the conversations are important, even if this is the first time you are hearing any of these people's names.
Well, I think this is why reality TV is something that as much as I'm not a huge reality TV person, I think it's a shame to disparage it because I think a lot of the time what it does is highlight issues that people would, like people are saying, I don't think this is a race issue, except you can literally watch it play out and see how people can go, well, this and this and this and this. It's actually a really useful, almost social experiment, which is what things like Big Brother and stuff were originally, to have conversations about, they become microcosms of macrocosm spaces, and it's a very useful way to show that, even if not everybody realizes it.
Yeah, I mean, I will always advocate for reality TV being a great anthropological tool. And I think this is so fascinating in a lot of dynamics. I think what is also really interesting is seeing how the people involved are dealing with the fallout of it. So in the wake of Scandival, which I discussed before, the woman who was kind of the primary victim of the whole thing, she was the partner who was cheated on, really skyrocketed. Her name is Ariana Madix. She now hosts Love Island USA.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep. She really made a name for herself. She was on Chicago. She makes bank now. She's hosting Love Island. And she was able to really capitalize on the attention that she was getting for being the victim of this thing, this scandal, and really make a name for herself. She also is incredibly talented and therefore was able to take advantage of those opportunities. Sierra has been a lot quieter than Ariana was on social media right now. In fact, basically a load of the cast are making bank on certain things. So there was an article that somebody supposedly grabbed Kyle on the street, but it was clearly set up. He says it wasn't, but come on. It's like those like, oh no, hey, look, Kyle on the street. What is this?
Can I see in your apartment? Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. And they interviewed him, and they asked how the cast was doing, and he said something about Carl being a mess. And of course, Carl was like, what? Everyone's like, what does Carl have to do with it? Why is he a mess? And Carl kind of had this attitude of like, I don't understand why he would say that. I'm not a mess. And so that became a meme of Carl as a mess because it was like highlighting people who don't really matter in pertaining to the story. And he ended up doing a Just Eat ad with Lindsay Hubbard, who was another member of that was called Carl is a Mess. And it's you order Uber Eats in order to care for yourself when you're a mess. So like these people are making essentially money off of the situation, which, you know, on one hand, you've got to, this is your opportunity. It's probably not going to come again. Squirrel away what you can. Sierra, however, has only been sharing links to charities due to the attention that her social media is suddenly getting. That's kind of all she's been doing is sharing these things, which on one hand you can go, this is a demonstration of just how great of a person she is. On the other hand, I think, well, she can't pop off. She can't write an angry, scathing post because she's a black woman.
And also, she won't be allowed that space.
She won't be allowed it.
The moment she does it, she'll become the villain.
Ariana could do it because she was a white woman. You know, Sierra has to be a lot more careful about what she says and how she says it, and has to really think things through. And therefore, I don't know if she will be allowed the same kind of blow up opportunity space as someone else was allowed. The moment
she says anything, the people who want her to be the bad guy will make her the bad guy. They will go, well, you know, why? Clearly, you know, that he's better off with this other woman, all this kind of stuff. They will take her words and they will use them against her.
Yeah, it's like
just very sad.
The people
she's not the first person that's happened to. She will not be the last by any stretch of imagination.
The people who are already kind of going, you know, oh, why is this such a big deal? You know, they weren't even dating and all this kind of stuff. I think the people who are saying it's not a racial dynamic, I think these are the people who probably would be side-eyeing anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a shame. Well, she should pop up. She should be able. She should be able to. She should be allowed that space. She should be able to feel the feelings that she's feeling, because she's a human, and people get upset. But obviously, that's not the way the world works, and she's not going to be afforded that. But yeah, so
she
she's
has
sharing
to show grace. And
so
so she has to be the best version of herself in a situation where no one should be, you know.
So
okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, as much as, you know, Amanda clearly sucks, but I also think the men suck most in the situation, and they should be the most villainized people. Her husband should be the most villainized person.
Well, the thing is that he was. So he was in the middle of being completely torn apart online before all of this dropped. And now the narrative, not everywhere, I have to say. I listen to a lot of like recap and stuff like that, and they're all, the ones that I listen to are like, no, Kyle is still a dick. But there is conversation online about, well, but maybe he was seeing something. Maybe he was understanding that she was cheating on him.
But he was always a dick.
Yep, he was always a dick. There is no That's why I wanted to highlight the
Yeah.
whole history, because otherwise it's very easy to go, well, I guess I could kind of see that,
Yeah.
or you know,
in the pyramid of who is the worst, in the kind of thing of if we're ranking who's behaved the worst, I'm putting him at the top. Then this West guy is going next, because I'm not going to lie, to me, and I know I'm not watching it, whatever, but your telling of it makes me think that he's just trying to date Sierra again for optics, because he enjoy, you know, why, and she shouldn't be giving him the time of day, like, honestly. Like, he sounds like an asshole too. I'm putting them right at the top. They're at the top. And then Amanda, because girl code, and she should have known better, and she shouldn't have used her friend like that. And she absolutely has behaved badly. And then Sierra isn't on this pile because she's clearly not a dickhead. Like, what? Everybody's behaved badly apart from Sierra. All of these white people have behaved badly.
you know, white people always behave badly.
Well, but I think, as I said before, the fact that people are going, we're going to villainize a woman over the behavior of these men, when everybody should be villainized, is that not just the way of the world? Like, you could be the worst man in the world and you can still be president.
Yep.
I feel that's the end.
I mean, personally, I choose to villainize. I mean, obviously not completely. Like, she's a human. I don't wish her actual harm in her life or anything like that. But I do villainize Amanda a little bit more, but I think that's just because, I don't know, friendship to me is always a little bit more of a higher rank of, like, we can all agree that this man is a dick. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing's quite interesting is that with these shows and stuff, like, you never know what conversations have been had elsewhere. You never know what's actually real, what's not, all this kind of stuff. I would be fascinated to know what the truth of the whole situation is. I doubt it'll ever.
Yeah, from obviously we don't know. I think they either just filmed or are about to film the reunion of this season. And they are filming it post all of this dropping, so it's going to just be the only thing that we talk about at this reunion.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's going to be the whole thing. But I don't know if we're going to even get full answers there.
No.
I don't know how much they're going to keep hiding at least the timeline.
Yeah.
If they're smart and the timeline's not shady, you should be honest with it. Like, if it started in February, you should just say that, because that's not a problem. I mean, it is in terms of some things, but not in other things. You wouldn't be looking back at
it could well be that, speculating wildly, that West liked Amanda, was flirty, you know, all that kind of stuff, but actually they weren't together until February. It was just sort of a mutual attraction, and he's an idiot or whatever.
There's a lot of looking at them.
I mean, I still don't think she should have dated him without bloody talking about it with her friend first. Like,
yeah, there was a post after she posted the big statement or whatever. Vanita, who is the only black woman on the Southern Charm cast, posted a thing saying, "Oh, can you imagine posting a whole statement before ever actually saying sorry to your friend?"
No, I know.
So that leads me to believe that they never actually had a private conversation in which she apologized either. Yeah, so there's that whole thing.
I do wonder how messed up these people get by being on TV.
Oh, probably massively.
Like, they probably forget that that sort of stuff can happen. You should have a conversation in private with no, like, I wonder the reason if Sierra is the way, like, is better, well, not, you know, obviously her race comes into it a lot, but because of her job, like her actual job, that she's in contact with normal people a lot of the time, and so is a normal person, you know.
Yeah, I think she recently ended up getting laid off as an ICU nurse, but it was fairly recently, and like she was working at it for a good number of years on the show. But yeah, but it
sounds like she's just more down to earth in general.
She is.
Like, I mean, like a person rather than like a reality TV person, you know.
There's another one of the cast members, Paige DeSorbo, who I mentioned, who is friends with everybody. She left the show. This is her first year. I mean, she kind of came in like a later season and then recently left. So she left this last year, and she was friends with both. She's made basically very few statements, but the only thing she said is, obviously I've seen it, I know what's going on, but I'm not about to capitalize on my friend's pain.
No,
but she
very
has
reasonable.
unfollowed Amanda, so that's obviously a sign of things. But she also kind of had a big, like, when she was yelling at West in the last reunion, she ended up having a whole thing about where she talked about, you know, you're trying to do things for the camera in order to adjust your life for that, but really, like, these are our lives. Like, this is Sierra's life, this is our lives, and we just happen to be living it in front of a camera, and you've got to think of it this way. He
very much seems like he's playing a part, almost like, you know, Sierra doesn't actually matter to him. More like, what can I get from you? What can I...
Yeah, and he might not be consciously aware of that.
Yes.
But yes.
that seems to be the... Again, I have not watched this show. I have just enjoyed your wonderful retelling of it. And so my opinions of things may shift slightly should I have watched it, because obviously I'm getting a very quick version of this, and so I'm only kind of gleaning bits of information and whatnot, and obviously through your lens. But I hate all of them, apart from Sierra. So, you know, they all sound sucky.
So, that is what's going on with the Summer House scandal. Hopefully, now all of you lovely listeners can go into your group chats and act like you know everything without ever having to have watched a single episode.
And it's still somehow more exciting and interesting and less threatening than the rest of the world.
I think that's why a lot of people are paying attention to it right now.
Like that, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really seen anything about this. My timeline is just people being like, space! Look, people are in space! And everyone's very, like, that's the other very distracting thing right now. Like, the world might end, but space.
I saw a really funny reel where it was a couple that were talking about their own, like, separate timelines, where one of them was all Summer House scandal and the other one was like, but we went to the moon.
Artemis, yeah.
And she was like, we went to what? Summer House.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, thank you very much for educating me on another reality TV show I had no idea about. I feel like this has been a very good and interesting conversation, and we should have them more often. Maybe we should just pick a reality TV show and be like, what's this one about?
Sure. I would love to just catch you up on Salt Lake City, man. I've been actually wanting to do an episode where I show you... Yes. I have this idea of having you watch an episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and us having a conversation about camp.
My experience.
On reality television.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm very excited for that.
Yes. Anyway, there you go.
I've learnt so much.
I was very happy I got to...
I don't know anything else about her, but I wish her all the best.
Everybody is Team Sierra, even if this is the first time you are hearing this, you are Team Sierra, because Sierra is amazing.
She deserves better.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe she should be on the show.
Everyone hopes she will. That they just I hope you move on to bigger and better things. Yes.
Go and meet a nice person. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, I hope our Patreon listeners have enjoyed this. I hope they really enjoy the snapshots of my face they're going to get.
I'm just going to put the whole video on YouTube, so...
I think that's sensible.
Patrons can watch it, and then maybe I'll have a release for general audience, like, a couple of weeks later.
Yeah, and everyone can just watch me having a breakdown over this. Over this thing I've never watched. Anyway. This has been lovely. What a great catch-up, and just a lovely experience. I like these episodes. I get to sit here and just be like, oh, what happened next?
Well, thanks everyone for supporting us on Patreon.
And we will, as I said at the top of the show, we will see you in the new series.
Yes, and
May.
your Patreon episodes are going to start coming out on Fridays when the new season drops, because you will be getting it a couple of days early, so you get it the Friday before it drops on the Monday, so you get a whole weekend to enjoy it ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. And then remember to bully all your friends and family to go and listen to it on Monday.
Yes.
Very important. All right, we've got some very exciting episodes coming up. We've got some great plans. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
Yes. I'm excited.
So, yeah. All right, have a lovely rest of your Easter. I don't know when this episode's coming out. You probably had Easter.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has already been
lovely
Easter,
April.
even by time of recording.
We're still in the Easter holidays. I have teachers in my family. It's still Easter.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, they're not back at work yet. But yeah, enjoy your April. We'll see you in May. And you'll hear us.
Bye.
Bye bye.